Chapter 1, The Last Time Anyone Saw Her. Amber Raves was last seen on the night of October 12, 2019, walking home from a high school football game in Cypress Creek, Texas, a quiet town of just over 8,000 residents. By the following morning, her mother, Diane Raves, would report her missing. And within days, local authorities would be combing through the woods and creek beds that bordered the town. Amber was 17. She was a senior at Cypress High. Bright, sociable, and well-liked, the kind of girl teachers described as the glue in the room. Her disappearance wasn't just unexpected. It was surreal. "I remember thinking, no way," said her best friend, Taylor Benton. "Like, she's probably at Chelsea's house. Or she went to a party and didn't charge her phone." But then, that night turned into a morning, and she never answered. Chapter 2, The Final Call. According to police records, Amber made one last phone call the night she disappeared, at 10:43 p.m. The call lasted 47 seconds and went to her ex-boyfriend, Jace Holloway. Jace, a junior at a community college 40 minutes away, told investigators that he missed the call and didn't think much of it until the following day. "I figured it was a butt dial or something," he said in a police interview. "We hadn't talked in weeks." But investigators weren't so sure. Cell tower pings placed Amber's phone on the east side of town at the time of the call, a spot near the tree line behind Keller's grocery. It was not her usual route home. And it raised questions. Was she meeting someone? Was she being followed? Chapter 3, A Town That Didn't Forget. By the third day, the sheriff's department had enlisted volunteers to search every wooded trail and creek behind the high school. They used drones, dogs, and even brought in a dive team to inspect a retention pond off Route 7. But nothing. No phone. No backpack. No clothes. No Amber. Local news stations ran her picture daily. A blonde girl with soft freckles and big, curious eyes. Her smile became a symbol of small-town fear. And something darker, a creeping sense that someone in Cypress Creek knew more than they were saying. Chapter 4, The Stranger in the Blue Truck. 1 week after Amber's disappearance, a tip came in from an elderly woman named Ms. Gwen Caro, who lived on Milner Street, a block from where Amber was last seen. She told police that she'd seen a blue Chevy Silverado parked oddly on the corner that night. "It was just sitting there," Gwen said. "Motor running. Headlights off. I thought maybe someone was waiting to pick their kid up. But when I looked again 10 minutes later, it was gone." This was the first mention of the truck, and it would not be the last. Chapter 5, Jace Under Scrutiny. Naturally, suspicion began to build around Jace. He was the last person Amber had tried to call. They had dated for over a year before breaking up that summer. Some friends claimed she had still been hung up on him. Others said Jace had moved on quickly, maybe too quickly. Detectives searched his phone, apartment, and car. Nothing suspicious turned up. In an attempt to clear his name, Jace voluntarily took a polygraph test. The results were inconclusive. Not failed, but inconclusive. That didn't help him. "I started getting looks at the gas station," Jace said in an interview 2 years later. "People thought I did it. Hell, sometimes I thought I did too, like in a dream or something. It messes with your head." Chapter 6, The Whisper Network. 2 months passed. Then 3. And still, nothing. Rumors exploded online. Some claimed Amber had run away to California. Others whispered that she had a stalker no one knew about. One Reddit thread gained traction when a user claiming to be close to the family said Amber had a secret boyfriend in his 20s. Theories grew wilder. She was taken by someone in law enforcement. She was involved in a drug ring. Her parents knew more than they said. And then, 6 months later, there was a break. Or so it seemed. Chapter 7, The Backpack. On April 18, 2020, a pair of hikers found a backpack about 12 miles north of Cypress Creek in a dry creek bed. Inside were a Cypress High ID card, Amber Raves, a cracked iPhone 8, 2 notebooks, a hoodie with a small bloodstain on the collar. DNA confirmed it was Amber's blood, but only trace amounts. Not enough to suggest major trauma. And nothing else, no clothing, no wallet, no sign of a struggle. The bag appeared to have been placed there, not dropped, not dragged. And just like that, the case was alive again. Chapter 8, 1 year later. In October 2020, exactly 1 year after Amber vanished, the Raves family held a vigil on the steps of Cypress High. Hundreds came. Her mother, Diane, stood with a candle and read a letter out loud. Amber, wherever you are, we love you. We haven't stopped looking. We won't stop. You are not forgotten. Among the crowd were many faces, including someone no one expected, Jace Holloway. He hadn't been seen publicly since the initial investigation. He stood quietly, alone, watching. That night, someone took a photo of Jace near the candlelight, a silhouette blurred by movement. When posted online, it sparked a wildfire of conspiracy. Some said he looked guilty. Others said he looked haunted. But the most popular comment read, "He's not the one you should be watching." Chapter 9, A Second Vanishing. On July 9, 2021, nearly 2 years after Amber Raves disappeared, a second girl went missing from Cypress Creek. Her name was Lena Mendez, age 16. Like Amber, she was a high school student, involved in choir and yearbook, and had no known enemies. Unlike Amber, Lena vanished in broad daylight. She left her summer job at Dairy Queen just after 5 p.m. and never made it home. Her phone last pinged near Lake Fernwood, 8 miles west of town. Her car, a white Honda Civic, was found neatly parked at the boat dock, keys still in the ignition, driver's door open. No sign of a struggle. No Lena. Chapter 10, A Chilling Pattern. Local media exploded with speculation. 2 missing teenage girls, similar age, similar background, both from Cypress Creek, 2 years apart. Either we've got the worst luck in Texas, said Sheriff Martin Doyle at a press conference, or we're looking at something bigger. Detectives began to cross-reference the 2 cases. Amber's last phone ping, east side of town, near the woods. Lena's, west side, near a lake. No overlap in friends or family. But one eerie connection, both girls were in Ms. Kendra Lowe's sophomore English class. Investigators interviewed Ms. Lowe twice. She appeared nervous but cooperative. She was devastated, said Principal Roy Kellum. She cried the entire time. Still, detectives noted inconsistencies in her timeline. And someone anonymously left a voicemail at the sheriff's office saying, "Check Ms. Lowe's cabin near Fernwood. She's not who she says she is." Chapter 11, The Cabin. Detectives followed up. Ms. Lowe, 33, had recently inherited a small hunting cabin from her late uncle. It was remote, tucked behind a set of private roads that weren't listed on GPS. They obtained a warrant and searched the property. Inside, they found camping gear, several old journals, a scratched-up flip phone, no SIM card, a shoebox labeled Pine 14 with dozens of Polaroid photos, all nature shots, except one, a picture of Lena, sitting in what looked like the Dairy Queen break room. When questioned, Ms. Lowe said she had no idea how the photo got there. Claimed she hadn't visited the cabin in over a year. Her fingerprints weren't on the box, but they did match the phone. She was not charged, but was placed on administrative leave. Chapter 12, Town Under Siege. The town of Cypress Creek was now in full panic mode. Parents pulled kids out of school. News vans lined Main Street. FBI agents quietly joined the investigation. Sheriff Doyle gave daily updates, but rarely said anything new. Meanwhile, an anonymous online forum called Truth in the Pines began posting strange claims about a secret network operating in town, people who used the woods to take and trade teenagers. Most dismissed it as conspiracy garbage. But one post stood out. Search the barn behind 68, Avery Lane. Red truck. 3 padlocks. She's not the first. She won't be the last. Chapter 13, The Barn. On July 21, a team of officers went to the barn at 68 Avery Lane. The property was owned by Ron Blass, a 54-year-old former tow truck driver with no criminal record. The barn was locked, exactly as the post described. 3 padlocks. Inside, they found a mattress, a metal chair with restraints, a set of women's clothing, a burned-out phone battery, and in the far corner, a pair of white Converse shoes with a name written inside, Amber R. DNA analysis confirmed traces of both Amber Raves and Lena Mendez inside the barn. But Ron Blass was nowhere to be found. His truck was gone. So was he. A bolo, be on the lookout, was issued across state lines. Chapter 14, Ghosts in the Creek. As August approached, search teams focused on the creek system behind the Avery property. Dogs picked up faint trails. Divers were brought in again. 2 weeks later, they found a duffel bag weighed down by bricks, wedged under a submerged tree branch. Inside, 2 phones, one belonged to Lena, the other unknown. A hoodie. 2 small bundles of hair, each wrapped with a ribbon. And a folded map with 2 marked XS. The map was hand-drawn. One X was the Avery barn. The other was deeper in the woods, near an abandoned water tower. That's where they found the necklace, a silver chain with a small owl charm. Diane Raves confirmed it had belonged to Amber. Chapter 15, Ron Blass is caught. On September 3, 2021, nearly 2 months after Lena went missing, Ron Blass was arrested at a rest stop outside Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He was living in his truck, using burner phones and a fake ID. He did not resist arrest. Under questioning, Blass claimed he'd found the girls already hurt and had just tried to help them. His story was riddled with contradictions. He couldn't explain the DNA, the barn, or the photo of Lena. He refused a polygraph. He asked for a lawyer. And then, he shut down completely. The DA said the case would go to trial. But without the girls' bodies, charges of murder were still speculative. He was held without bond for kidnapping and unlawful restraint, Chapter 17, The Letter. On October 14, 2021, 2 years and 2 days after Amber Raves vanished, an envelope arrived at the Cypress Creek Police Department. It had no return address, no fingerprints, no DNA. Only a single line was written in all caps on the outside. Don't stop looking. Inside was a lined notebook page torn from a spiral pad. Written in shaky, smudged pen were just 17 words. He watches us sleep. She cries at night. If you find this, we're near the tower. The handwriting was later confirmed to match Amber Raves' schoolwork. Forensic analysis showed the paper had been kept in high humidity for a prolonged period, perhaps in an underground space or sealed container. A second search of the water tower area, 6 miles north of the Avery property, was immediately launched. But no one was found. Chapter 18, The Watchman. Following the letter, local hikers reported something strange. Over the past few weeks, several people who'd walked near the tower trails described seeing a man in camouflage watching them from the trees. He wasn't moving, just standing behind a tree, half hidden, said Ethan Keller, 32. By the time I looked back, he was gone. No one had taken a photo. No trail cams were nearby. But the sheriff's department installed surveillance near the tower, hidden cameras, motion detectors, even night vision. For 19 days, nothing. Then, on the 20th night, a camera captured a figure with a flashlight approaching the edge of the clearing. He was carrying what looked like a metal lunchbox. He placed it near the tree line and walked away. The lunchbox was retrieved within an hour. Inside were 4 protein bars, a sealed bottle of water, a short note that read, "I'm not the bad one. She's still breathing." Chapter 19, The Woman in the Storage Unit. November 2021. A storage unit in nearby Montgomery, 30 minutes from Cypress Creek, was reported for a strong odor. The owner opened the unit, and found it had been partially converted into a living space. Inside, a mattress on the floor, a small electric fan, food wrappers and clothes, and a wall covered in printed photos of teenage girls. Most of the girls were missing persons. Amber and Lena were among them. One photo stood out, a grainy Polaroid of Lena, sitting on a dirty mattress. Her hands appeared to be tied in front. Her eyes were wide. A small calendar in the background was circled on October 31st. No fingerprints, no cameras in the facility. But DNA from the food and clothes proved that Lena Mendez had been there within the past month. It was the first solid proof she was alive, at least recently. Chapter 20, A New Suspect Emerges. Detectives traced the storage unit rental back to a shell account paid in cash. Surveillance at a nearby gas station captured a man believed to be the renter. He wore a blue baseball cap and walked with a limp. FBI facial recognition flagged a possible match: Walter Penner, age 61, former contractor, dishonorably discharged from the Army in 1993. He had a sealed juvenile record and a history of assault charges that were later dropped. Penner had once lived in Cypress Creek, on the same street as the Raves family, back in 2005. He vanished in 2010. Now he was back on the radar. Chapter 22, The Memory Card. The card held 5 short video clips, all under 1 minute. All filmed in what appeared to be a dark basement. Clip 1, a blurry shot of a girl's hands tied to a pipe. Clip 2, someone feeding her with a spoon, saying, "You need to eat to stay pretty." Clip 3, heavy breathing. A girl crying softly in the dark. Clip 4, a hand holding a necklace up to the camera, the owl charm. Clip 5, complete silence. Then the faint whisper. "We're here." FBI analysts confirmed the voice matched previous samples from Amber's voicemail. The timestamps showed the last clip was recorded 8 days earlier. Chapter 23, The Underground Room. Under questioning, Walter Penner said only one thing. "She's not my prisoner. I just deliver the supplies." After 11 hours of silence, he finally drew a map. A rough one. It led to an abandoned maintenance tunnel system near the old county water plant. Agents followed the map. On November 17, they broke open a rusted metal hatch in the ground behind the plant. The tunnel was 40 feet long. At the end was a locked steel door. Inside, they found an underground room with bedding, lanterns, and food. A journal with notes in 2 different handwritings. A stuffed bear belonging to Lena, confirmed by her parents. But no one was there. Whoever had stayed in that room had left less than 24 hours earlier. And they had taken everything, and everyone, with them. Chapter 24, The Case Today. As of March 2022, both Amber Raves and Lena Mendez remain officially missing. Walter Penner was charged with obstruction, unlawful imprisonment, and aiding a fugitive, but continues to claim he never harmed anyone. Ron Blass remains in jail awaiting trial. Theories continue to circulate. A trafficking ring. A rogue military operation. A religious cult in the woods. Or, just one twisted mind, always a step ahead. If you find this, we're near the tower. That's the line that haunts this town. Cypress Creek hasn't given up. Neither have the families. And neither should we. Chapter 25, Trial of a Monster. The trial of Ron Blass began on March 4, 2022 in the Jefferson County Courthouse. The courtroom was packed, journalists, locals, and family members, many wearing purple pins for Amber and green for Lena. The prosecution presented a grim case. Amber's DNA in his barn. Lena's hair in the duffel bag. Restraints, blood traces, burned phones. Blass sat stone-faced the entire time, never looking at the families. The defense painted him as a scapegoat, a lonely man who was framed by someone far more dangerous. They hinted at Walter Penner, the storage unit, the letters, the hidden tunnel. They even accused law enforcement of mishandling evidence. But then the prosecution played a never-before-heard audio recording taken from a recovered flash drive in Penner's truck, no recent DNA. But for the first time, hope wasn't just a feeling. It was evidence. Epilogue, 4 years later. As of 2025, neither Amber Raves nor Lena Mendez has officially been found. Ron Blass remains in prison. Walter Penner died in custody in 2024, apparent suicide. Ms. Lowe serves her sentence in a minimum security facility. Diane Raves still lives in Cypress Creek. She keeps a light on every night. Maria Mendez moved to Austin and started a foundation for families of missing children. Some believe the girls escaped. Others say they never left the woods. And a few, the quiet ones, believe there's someone else still out there, still watching, still hiding, waiting to finish what they started. We got out. Or maybe they were never meant to.